Neat Nation. What's up, squad? Gonna warn you right away. It seems like we're already having internet problems. I don't know why. We had a couple weeks where it was great, and then maybe it's Spectrum Internet. That's what services my house. We have narrowed it down to my house. It's not Brian's fault. It's my fault. So I apologize in advance. If we do have issues, just throw it in the comments here. And what I'll do is I'll go just up by the router and just see if that's better. Who knows if that's going to be better, but we're willing to try anything at this point. So if I need to go sit in the rocking chair in the baby's room, that's what we're going to do. Because we've got.
I will tell you, we upgraded our internet recently, and I am in the room right next to the router. And in the room with the router, like 550. In this room, like 400. If I go to the room next to me, which shares, like, you could draw a line through some doorways to get to that room, like high fours. So it does matter. It does matter. We'll see.
Yeah, and I'm a little ways away. But what's weird is that some nights, I don't know if it's static electricity or who knows, but some nights it's, we're just flawless and we're, it's crispy and no delay, no nothing. Other nights it's like, well, dang, this sucks. So we'll just see.
Speaking of crispy, it's a good time to let everyone know that the show is unofficially sponsored by High Noon Sun Sips. Easy drinking, always socializing, great tasting, sun-toasted blue sky, celebrating memory-making awesomeness in a can. Hard seltzer, no sugar added, 100-calorie, gluten-free, vodka and soda, dreamsicle, with more tasty notes than I would use to describe a Buffalo Trace product.
Awesome.
That's
awesome. Yeah. Did you write all that, or is that actually? Is all that there? Like,
yeah, they talk about me and my tasting notes on the thing. Yeah, it's both. It's a both and. It's a both and situation.
Okay. Fair enough. Well, welcome, squad. What we're doing tonight is Brian and I each have 4 whiskeys, and the key. Brian, I don't know if you have a key. I have a key. It's sealed here just to show everybody.
Yeah, I've not done anything.
Very sealed. Oh, okay. I did open mine, but they're in blue bottles.
Have you poured them out yet?
Nope, have not poured them out. Blue bottles.
I'll get them out while you're talking.
Sounds good. So Eric Sawyer, who's watching, Eric, dude, thank you for giving us this blind. So we'll get into our opening bits in just a minute, but just so everybody is aware of what we're doing. First sample, we have to tell whether or not it's over 8 years. We have to say over under 105 proof, what distillery it's from, and ideally what bottle from that distillery. And we get points. And there's slightly different criteria for each whiskey. So our goal is to try and say yes or no, or above or below the proof point, or the age, or whatever. So, we will articulate the criteria in more detail as we go. Yep. So the helpful thing is we'll write down our answers as we go, except my focus doesn't autocorrect. So, but thank you, Brian. That's very helpful. And the goal is to see who wins and who is better. As we've discussed on lives before, I prefer to make everything a competition when possible. And thanks to Eric, that's what we're going to do.
And I prefer to drink High Noon Sun Sips no matter what we do. So,
which I again can't figure out how you could then go taste whiskey after. I almost pulled out a Sun Sip because I have them. Almost pulled one out to start the show with, but then I'm like, I'm just gonna lose the taste if I do that because I just can't swing from sweet to whiskey back like that. Anyway, that'll be fun.
As a refresher, though, for the people joining, you talked about what we're tasting, but we both signed up for World's Top Whiskey Taster, Bardstown Bourbon Company. They haven't announced who's going to move on to go to the first stages, but this is one of the segments that they did with some samples. And I don't know if it was the qualifiers or what, but we're just doing a little practice. Eric sent these out to us. We didn't. It was just kind of a fun thing for if we wanted to train, and we decided why not make it a nice little fun live and do it with y'all of Neat Nation.
Yep. To be fair, Eric just dropped it on my porch in a Chemex filter box. I am about to sneeze. Just have. Oh.
Chasing Giants. Thank you for the super chat.
That was juicy. Yeah, man. Appreciate that. Super dank. Well, let me just bring it up here. Watching from Oz. Oz, where is Oz? Which would we crack first?
Australia,
Blanton's.
mate.
Oh, is it really? Get out of here.
Maybe, could be.
Blanton's Gold, straight from the barrel, or Michter's Toasted Barrel Strength Rye. I live in Oz, so I'm lucky. Yeah, so that seems like Australia. I think you're correct.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, man, I'd go with one of those Blantons. I've got the straight from the barrel. I haven't popped it yet, but will do so soon. I'm trying to get a Blanton's Gold too, so I can kind of do a lineup video. But thank you, for the support, the super chat. That's 10 Australian dollars. I don't know how that compares to US dollars. If anybody wants to throw in the conversion rate, regardless. Thanks for supporting the channel. That's one way you can do that. You can also go to patreon.com/entryproofpodcast and support there. I know that Rudra and Blake are currently working out the logistics to get our Middle West pick to Washington, D.C., so then can get out to you guys. Hopefully that happens before too long. But that's what you get when you support on Patreon. Also, there's some links down below if you want to buy some entry-proof glassware like we have here. Or if you want to buy Keep It Neat t-shirt. Those are other ways. Also, you can be like Eric, which I definitely recommend you do. And if you guys want to set up a tasting competition for us, these are just hella fun. This is super fun to do on live streams. It's entertaining, hopefully, as Brian and I get at each other's throats here in a little bit. It's bound to happen. I'm really curious to see who wins this. I view myself as the underdog. I don't know how you're going to do it, Brian.
As the underdog.
I'm not say I'm confident, but I feel like the underdog. So maybe we're both underdogs.
Going back to that question from Chasing Giants, I would definitely crack the straight from the barrel. I think it is one of the best bottles on the market that you could either get at retail, or if you have to go to secondary, at secondary. I think it's got a lot of incredible flavor for what it is. I am personally of the belief that if that same juice was in the Buffalo Trace Antique Collection, no one would complain that it didn't stack up to the rest. I think generally it's a very solid product. Also, going back to Eric Sawyer, Eric threw in a fifth sample for me here, and we have bottle batch 18 of the President's Choice from Old Forester. I've only had President's Choice perhaps on one occasion other than this, to be quite honest with you. 99
Eric, what
months.
What the heck, man? I didn't get that.
Dude, this is fantastic too. It's
oh, shut up.
Heavy char notes.
While you glowed about that, I did get a taste E.H. Taylor barrel proof for the first time the other day, and it was awesome. I was hosted at Westmore Country Club, thanks to a really, really swell dude, Phil. And then he bought lunch, which included a little E.H. Taylor barrel proof. So that was just awesome. That was a swell Tuesday, let me tell you. Swing Nation. Eric, yes, I plan to be there. Eric's birthday party. We're going to be doing some swinging, as they say, a little golf and whiskey, which to me sounds like a pretty killer birthday party.
Wait. No. What is that? Because that's next Friday, Drew.
Oh, yeah, right.
That's the same next Friday.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. We're gonna have to work that out. But
let's talk about that real quick. Can we?
Hey, Eric,
or at the end of the show.
Well, we can talk about it briefly. Put Eric on the spot. Eric, can Brian come to your birthday party too? Even though he can come and walk golf, and then we can all do whiskey together.
If you guys don't mind, I'm very good at driving golf carts and drinking high noon sunsets. Yeah. I won't go through the spiel right now. We'll wait a couple minutes.
Yeah, right. Whenever we need a little interjection.
Prefacing Eric, I mean, again, we are hot off the heels, as some of you all know, of our Middle West Spirits pick. It was fantastic. We haven't really done a recap. We'll catch that soon. However, we are connecting next week for a Limousin Rye pick, and I am headed up y'all's way, Eric and Drew. So I'm going to be stomping around your all's grounds for the weekend, and we'll do some more picking.
Yep. So sad. Yeah. I mean, before the Middle West pick even hits, which is fine. I was hoping Middle West would be dropping about now. It's not. That's fine. But we'll get this. It's actually pronounced limousine. I was surprised.
Limousine.
Doesn't look like it because there's no E at the end, but it is.
For those who are joining the show who are not members of Patreon, totally fine that you are not members of Patreon. We are glad to have you here on the show. However, if you hear us talking about barrel picks, we do barrel picks for Neat Nation that join us over on patreon.com/entryproof podcast. And what we are talking about is our most recent pick at Middle West Spirits and our upcoming pick at Dancing Goat
Distillery
for the Limousine Rye, which I think we are under the impression it is going to be a limousine rye, but you're of the impression that they have other stuff and they're just going to open up a whole bunch of crap, or am I mistaking that for another distillery?
That was what they told me originally. I did get an email and they said, they recently launched their single barrel program and the demand is kind of through the roof. They didn't realize this. This is after we talked originally. So they said we may not have sort of full access like they originally planned. We'll see how it goes. I said, but we're going to tell your story, exposure, brand awareness. People try and sell that to me all the time. And I'm like, no, whatever.
Eric, is next Friday your birthday? Is it on Friday?
Do you guys have the same birthday?
My birthday is on Thursday. My birthday is the 26th.
Wow. What are the odds?
So my birthday is the day before I'm coming to see you. What are you going to do for my birthday? Can I get like one of those things you talk about at Stone Creek all the time? Those yummy things?
You talking to me or talking to
Eric?
Him? Sorry.
Eric and I have the same birthday. I think I may have known that, but
wow, that's pretty cool. Yeah, we're gonna have a good time then. A couple questions, and then we'll get into the actual content of the show. William, what's up, my dude? He says, "You guys ever make it to the Southeast, like Tennessee or Georgia? Chattanooga or ASW would be awesome. Both are close to me." Well, I love that ASW pick you sent me, dog. That's quite good. I did, Well, I've still got some of the sample left, but then I opened the bottle. That Thornton package store, very good. Would not be adverse. We're willing to travel. We'll travel for bourbon, as they say. So we'll just take it one pick at a time. We're keeping it kind of close-ish to home for now, just because it's easier. But so we've got Dancing Goat, and then we've got Dristless Glen, which is also Wisconsin, and then we don't have anything after that. But New Riff is on the list for sure. Would love to do that. And then, we may just throw out some polls to Nation, and then we'll reach out to folks from there. Porkins, Andrew Beck. My wife is out of town for a week, seeing her mom for the first time in almost 2 years. How much golf can I play and how much whiskey can I drink in 6 days?
No limits, man.
Throw out some bets for Andrew. Yeah, I'm with you. I'm playing at least 18 a day. I do, keep moderation in terms of the ingestion of alcohol. Just keep it, lucid. That's all I would say. But it sounds like, I adore my wife, but those times when you're just like by yourself, it doesn't suck. We all need those times, I think. State Fair. Oh my gosh. That would be a long day.
Yeah, the Kentucky State Fair started today.
The Milwaukee State Fair is going on. Milwaukee. The Wisconsin State Fair, which happens to be in Milwaukee, is also going on right now. Evan Swift says he would love a Chattanooga pick. Noise. Comments blowing up here. I can't even track with you guys. All right, cool. So we've got 2 tastings tonight. One is this competition. And then depending on how we're doing, Brian said he's got a lot of alcohol on his table, so who knows? Depending on how we're doing after that, I had given Brian a buttload of samples that I also have here that we can taste through just for kicks and giggles. But first, we're 15 minutes in and we haven't even done our introductory bits. What are you sipping on for starters, Brian?
And there's been a whole myriad of things. But really? Yeah, I was doing that Old Forester President's Choice. Right. Of course. I'm doing a little rare breed. I had some rare breed in my flask still. I took this for birdie juice on Tuesday, and I did have a birdie, so that was great. Sunk about a 20-footer. It was a 166-yard par 3. I was like 5 feet left of the water, landed on the fringe, water right up against the green. Sunk that putt. Pretty awesome. I performed well on the par 3s generally, except for one I hit it in the water. But I had a par, a birdie. No,
A birdie, a par, a bogey, and then a double. So I just ran the gamut on the par threes. But shot 90 at a really tough course, par 71 at like 6,500 yards. Some of those par fours, there was a 445 yard par four. That's ridiculous. Like that's a long par four. Anyway, great course. Highly
Just real
recommend.
Quick, never mind. We'll talk off air.
All right. So yeah, that's what I'm drinking. Rare breed out of the flask. What did you pick up this week, Brian?
A ton of stuff. So I ended up getting a bottle. Do I have it behind me? Of, you guys know, one, that I love Four Roses. If you guys have Four Roses drop in your local area and it's not a fan of you, let me know. But locally, Justin's House of Bourbon did a bourbon festival. Four Roses pick from this run that I've been going after, but on the 4th floor. I've been getting a lot of the bottles from tier 6, but this is Warehouse P, South Side, 58, and it's on the 4th tier. So I'm curious to see how this will stack up to some of the 6s that I've been getting. And then yesterday I booked it about a month ago. They popped up on the site and they were up for about 30 minutes before they were filled. But Wild Turkey was doing a taste experience through the Russell's 13 and talking about how it came to be. And you got a bottle of Russell's 13 with that, or you could if you opted for that. So you got to taste through that along with a couple other pours. They kind of talked about the history of that, and it was very intriguing to actually get the breakdown of where those barrels came from and what was in that batch.
Your pictures were rad from that too. Real quick, Nation. So I know Brian's coming through a little staticky. I might be as well in terms of the visual. Is the audio coming through clear? If we're good, then I'll just stay here. If the audio is breaking up, then I'm gonna probably move this thing upstairs. But are we good? Clear on audio so far? Give me some indication in the chat here. While I wait for that indication, I did not buy anything this week. I was given a bottle of Old Ezra Barrel Strength 7. That's you need to have one of those around. Not my favorite, but I enjoy it. $40 was the price they added on, but liquor store owner gave it to me, which was very kind. And then what? Oh yeah, that's it. I'm not buying anything right now because my basement is broken. The sump pump ate it, and then when they were fixing the sump pump, there was just like a buttload of calcium buildup in the crock. If any of you are familiar with sump pumps, and they said, you got to get this looked at. So all the drain tile is full of calcium buildup as well. And if we don't replace the drain tile, eventually it's going to fail and we'll have water in the basement, which that's where I'm at. We have a nice basement. So guess who is replacing the drain tile in the basement? And it's interior drain tile, and that's expensive. Very expensive. So
yeah, you were getting into that mess last time we were on a live, weren't you?
Yeah, I think I was just I was on the cusp of it. They were gonna do the test or something. So anyway, got the test done. And that's where bourbon money's gonna go for a little while. And I'll just be kind of holding out for the Russell's 13 and the barrel picks, and then the fall drops. We'll see if I'm able to score something, in the Four Roses LE. Probably not BTAC, but we'll see. We'll see what drops here in Milwaukee this fall if I'm able to score anything. But hopefully Russell's 13, man. Anytime. It's supposed to drop anytime. Hasn't hit here still. Still has not hit in Wisconsin. So hopefully some members of Nation have been able to pick that one up. But yeah, houses do suck. Somebody said that, and sometimes they suck. They're great. It's first world problems. Like, oh, my house, I'm in the basement with a nice bar and the whiskey, and I have to pay some money to fix it. Like, yeah, first world problems for sure. But still, doesn't mean it is easy necessarily. So we just keep it all in perspective. Family's healthy right now, and that's good. So yeah, let's get into it. Brian, are you ready to taste off, my friend?
Yeah, are you wanting to pour them all out, or are you want to do one by one?
One
I
at
saw
a,
you
let's
say
go one at a
something
time.
before about one sip. Are we really getting one sip per on each thing? I don't know. I don't know the way to
No,
go.
yeah, no. I said one sip. Everyone knows the rules. That's a riff off of Dave Portnoy's pizza reviews.
Yeah,
yeah,
okay, that's what I thought.
Yeah.
That's what I thought. So what are you doing? Are you pouring them all out, or are you going one by
just
one?
let's one at a time.
Okay.
And we'll actually I guess the key probably. Hey, Eric, if I open this, can I pull out one result at a time, or do we need to wait and go through them all and then? Because I want to see who's kind of
down.
Oh, we'll definitely write it down on the sheet, but I'm saying like it'd be interesting to see who's winning as we go. So it's like, who's I'm down by 3. So Eric, can I pull out one answer at a time, or is it all on one sheet? Anyway,
if he knows the answer, he could. If he knows the answer, he could keep a live score for us because he would know the answers without us having to check.
I wish I had a big understanding. Okay, so we know it's over or under 8 years, so it's probably a decently aged whiskey. I'm trying to figure out.
Eric, don't apologize, dude. This is amazing. This is really fun.
Yeah. Come on, man. You're fine. All 4 answers. Yeah. Well, I just want to make sure we make do.
See, look, he says he could do that. He could keep it as we go one by one. He can keep us updated on the total, and we'll just have to keep track of what he's keeping track of the total.
All right. That sounds good. Oh, man. So I went to the gym earlier. As you can tell, I wore my tracksuit. I actually showered, so I didn't actually wear my suit to the gym. But, man, I hurt right now. All right. Let's do this. Pouring one. Here we go. So the questions
the whole
on this
sample,
one,
does it matter?
There's not a lot in there, so I'm pouring the whole thing.
Okay.
And we got to be careful what we disclose here. And that's the tough thing is we'll talk after we go through each one and write down what we think it is. Then we'll talk about it, but we got to promise we're not. That's why we're going to write this down is we're not going to change our answers.
Yeah, we'll write it down and then we could show, I guess. All right. Sorry, this is the part where it's going to be a little bit boring for you guys, but trust me, we'll be back. We'll be back.
We can try and talk about things as we go. It's interesting. What I can say is it smells good. Okay, so the questions on number 1, we can talk about that. Is it over or under 8 years? Is it over or under 105 proof? What's the distillery? And what's the bottle? Can we name it? So, yeah, this is not terribly exciting right now, but I wish I could almost talk through it, because I have like some thoughts about this whiskey I want to share. We should just do this kind of fast, Brian, and write down the answers as quickly as we can, so then we can talk about what we thought.
Sure.
So many thoughts.
I am done.
Oh my gosh. You're just going with your gut on this? I'm trying to find it. Sorry, guys. Here, I can take my headphones out.
No. It's not fun. That's not fun. I mean, but now I can keep chit-chatting. To remind everyone that the show is unofficially sponsored by High Noon Sun Sips, the no sugar added 100-calorie, gluten-free vodka and soda made with real juice. There is no beating it. If you choose White Claw instead, you're going to have a worse drink. Sun Sips for the win.
Gosh, there's a couple different ways I can go with this. I really want to win. This is where it's bad to be competitive. Is like I have a definite lean, but Okay, hold on. One more sip.
This sucks. It sucks.
Doesn't suck.
No, it sucked. Well, I won't keep talking.
Gosh. All right, I'm changing my answer. Man, the finish. So now that you wrote it down, I'm going to make a remark. The finish is what's killing me about the proof. Because up front, it doesn't really taste 105 proof. On the finish, it's got some lingering heat.
Yeah.
Man. Okay, if it's my first guess, I'm going to kick myself. But, all right, I'm done. Remember, I scratched out, so I want to show everybody. There is a little scratch out portion here that was made.
Oh, am I supposed to write it on the sheet? Or I have it on my notebook.
Yes. Well, that's fine. I trust you. I 100% trust you. All right. So why don't you throw out your guesses? Let's talk about this.
You want to go line by line? You want to go line by line?
Sure. Yeah. So over under 8 years.
I am saying over 8 years.
Get out. I said under. It reminded me of two products, which we'll talk about in a minute. Neither one of which was over 8 years. Now I'm getting more sweetness though. But there's a almost hairspray on the finish. It's a nice product. Like, I think it's under 8 years, but I think it's got some good barrel character regardless. Over under 105 proof.
I said over.
Okay, we're very different. I think it's 100 proof. I think it's 100 and maybe 107.
My first guess was 100 proof, but I think I'm lean because of all the questions. It's making me think product, which is shaping the way I'm answering. Yeah. So we'll see.
Yeah, that'll be interesting. So the flavor profile I thought initially was Buffalo Trace, but I changed my answer. And I thought it was Buffalo Trace, potentially wheated. I thought it was potentially Special Reserve, but I thought it was too hot for that. So I changed. What do you think about the distillery?
I originally thought it was Old Forester because it had this big banana note at first. But the more I sit on it, it's sweeter, like the Char 3 of Heaven Hill.
I thought I got very little spice in terms of like rye spice. So I do not think it's a rye bourbon. When I poured it initially, I thought this may be finished. But I didn't get a heavy like port or sherry influence, which I thought it would have been. So I went wheated. I went Wilderness Trail, thinking Wilderness Trail
Good
wheater.
Call.
So that's my guess.
Call.
Wilderness Trail 6-year wheater.
Yeah, I went, and it doesn't make any sense with majority of the ones that I've had, but I went with Elisha Craig barrel proof, leaning maybe into that 119 bottle.
Cannot be. I will shoot myself in the face if it's Elisha.
Yeah, my initial thought was Old Forester Signature 100. That was my initial thought. You could see on the sheet that I pulled out that was where my guesses first went, that it was under 8 years, that it was under 105 proof Old Forester. But then more sweetness came out. My mind started getting to me.
Real quick, Chasing Giants. I could get a Blanton's Gold for 110. But what secondary? Yeah, secondary for that's a lot more. Slide into my DMs, Chasing. We can talk about it. I would appreciate some help on that one for sure. So, Eric, you've heard the answers. Why don't you drop in the comments here? What was sample number 1. I'm like waiting with bated breath. It's going to be delayed coming through my little feed too. If you see it pop up, you can go ahead and read it.
Oh, this is going to sting. It's going to sting. 10-year, 100 proof Heaven Hill Henry McKenna.
Get out. So you got Heaven Hill, right?
I got over 8. So that's 1 point.
Which I did not get.
I did not get the proof because it was 100. So you got that. I got 2 points for the distillery, but then 0 for the bottle.
Crap. All right. Good for you. So after round 1, how did I come out? Oh, God. All right. So Drew has 1. Brian has 3.
Yeah, it had that, Eric. So here's what's kind of fun too. You all, if you know my history with Heaven Hill, you know that I have had a lot of sharp, harsh, nutty Heaven Hill products. In this bottle,
that's what I was.
I've had a myriad of Henry McKenna's too. Some have been very fruity, which this was not, and I've had some that have been real nutty, which this was not. I would say this sample gets into the element that I like about Heaven Hill when it has creaminess, and when I think about nuttiness, it's because it has like this almost peanut butter creaminess to it. Subtle nuttiness, but Heaven Hill does these char 3 barrels, which I think just allay themselves to be really light. And I think Wilderness Trail does a similar thing. So it's kind of smart for you going that way too. They have those kind of lighter characteristics to them. I don't remember what their barrel chars are, but for some reason I thought they were 3s also. Anyway,
I did not get any rye. Yeah, it didn't remind me at all of Heaven Hill, given that there was a total absence of nut in that. It was really solid. But I also didn't get the massive amount of oak, or not even a massive amount. I didn't get like pronounced oak. It was very honey forward. I thought it could have been Blanton's because it was so unspicy. But anyway, I lost. Number 2, here we go. This one is it over or under 12 years? What if it's at? Well, we're just going to say over or under.
Yeah, I don't think
over or under 12. And then we have to guess proof. So we need to be within 3 proof points. And we get 2 points if we're in 3 proof points. And then we have to name the distillery. Can we name the bottle too and get an extra point for that? Let's do that. We're going to also put 1 point for the bottle. I'm changing the game. So, because I think that's fun. Like if you
play a catch-up game.
Well, I mean, I think if you can name the bottle, that shows some intestinal fortitude. That shows some tongue power. All right. This is a lot of fun. I feel like I'm going to get exposed. But it is fun. That's what it's about. It's about the fun. It's not about my ego. Ooh. Delightful nose. I'll say that. And that's all I'll say while I write my notes for a minute. Because I think off the nose, I think I know what this might be. It's pretty good. Eric, you were generous with your samples, dude. Not sure what this is, but it's quite good. So I'm also trying to appreciate it while I dissect it. I'm like trying to answer with each sip, trying to answer one question. Okay, here we go. Man, this is really good. that's answer number one. Pretty dang good. Crap. All right. Focus, man. Focus. This is so hard.
He's given some super hard ones. Some super hard ones. Oh man.
I am gonna take a risk. Wait, I got one more sip and then I'm gonna lock in my pick here. Man, darn it to heck. That's not, it can't be that. Oh my gosh. Now I gotta do one more sip. This one's really hard, Eric. I'm probably thinking about it wrong because I'm trying to figure out what bottle it is, and that's not helping me. Like, so here, I will talk a little bit about how I process it. One is you have to know the age if you asked us what the age is. So it has to be age stated. Maybe. Probably. You have to have some idea of the age. And the profile that I'm tasting does not lend itself to age statements. I'm like, wait, what's happening? Okay. Gosh.
Man,
I'm like completely second guessing everything right now. Squad, this may be more boring than I thought it would be as I just kick myself here. But man, is it a good whiskey. I just sit here and say that. Oh, okay. I'm getting dialed in now, maybe. Okay. Don't look what I'm looking at. See, this is, oh gosh. What all have you gotten for this guy? Okay. Shoot. Are you set?
I'm set.
Okay. How long have you been set for?
A while. While you're flopping, I did change some things, which changed a lot of things. But I'm keeping all questions in consideration. But I think it'll be here's what I love about this. I know you like the competition. I really like the talking through with people afterwards. Sure. I think I have two sheets of paper over here. One is torn out. That is not good. And the second one is what I'm going to go with. But the same thing happened with sample one. I think the talking through will be really important for people here after the fact. So
yeah, I completely agree.
That's what I'm going with.
Okay. All right, I'm gonna change my answer. And like I said, I'm going out on a limb here. Okay. Man, this was difficult. So let's just talk about what we tasted for a minute, because I think that's a helpful foundation. And that's what threw me off. So when I hit it, on the nose, I thought I got banana and oak. So where that leads me, just in my thinking initially, this is not where I ended up. But I'm thinking if it's banana, I'm thinking Old Forester, Woodford Reserve, or 1792. Those are the 3 big banana profiles. But then the oak threw me, and the age statement throws me. Guess who doesn't do a lot of age statements? Old Forester, Woodford Reserve, 1792. So it's like, dang it. So then I'm like, I'm trying to process what can have a decent age statement, if it's plus or minus 12, this much oak, and have it taste really good. Because I'm not a big fan of the banana note, but the more I got into this, the more I enjoyed this whiskey. When something's well aged, though, it feels like the more time it spends in a barrel, the harder it is to pin it on a particular distillery. So,
which is what I love about old age whiskey.
Right. And so what we're having a hard time doing sometimes is discerning, gosh, I might change my.
Well, let me jump in here real quick.
So
what I find interesting about this particular point right now is because, so if you all recently watched one of my recent videos where I went through and I did some tasting notes, I went through some Buffalo Trace, which is not very complex. My goal is that as I get through other pours, they will become more complex. When I talk about complexity, I talk about the layers of flavor that you can pull out the more you sit with it. Now, what's tricky about this pour here is it reminds me of a couple of products that really do have finesse of like, is it this kind of flavor or this kind of flavor? Because a distiller is saying, if it's this lane, it's going here. And if it's this lane, it's going here in a lot of areas. And so, I might have done this completely wrong.
I might have too.
But I agree with you in what you're saying. But it had good sweetness to it. It had a good body, and I think it had a good amount of spice, which is what I think is going to be the most telling on what the actual proof is. Because at first I was reading the spice and thinking proof. And the more I sat with it, I was thinking spice and thinking it's a flavor of spice. The proof might be lower. And I'm curious to see how wrong I am on that.
Yeah. You know what? I think you are correct. I think I wrote down the wrong. But he says over under 12. Yeah. So this is the hard thing.
Let's start going.
All right. So over or under 12 years?
Under.
Yeah. I wrote over, but I also think it's under now. So we're going to go with what
11. I think it's 11 years. Let's keep going.
I think it's 9. And we'll get to why I think it's that. Because everything else I wrote down holds up. Well, we'll see. We'll see what I wrote down. Because I actually have no idea on this one. I wrote down some thoughts and we'll see if they're right. Proof, over under 3 points. Based on the product I thought it was 120.
I said 105.
Okay. Distillery. Where did you land on this one?
Old Forester.
So Old Forester. So you think what do you think it is?
Birthday bourbon. But not the 12-year age date. I think it's the 11-year.
The 11.
Which actually is probably not 105 proof, so I might have screwed myself. I think that was 101, but...
So I tasted the 11-year, and it had a very pronounced note that I did not think this was that. So I thought about birthday bourbon for a while, given the well-aged banana, but I went away from it, and I get more kind of like a touch of cedar with the oak. So I think it's Beam. I think it's well-aged Beam.
That would be awesome. I initially wrote over 12 and 129 proof because I thought it was king of because I thought it was king of Kentucky from Brown-Forman.
Wow, that would be such a generous sample.
Which makes this question incredibly hard. Because what I taste in it is really you know that my favorite whiskey is King of Kentucky, but this to me had more banana than I'm used to tasting, and not as much like very thick, heavy, dark char notes. And so I started, as I sipped on it, to pull away from King Kentucky in favor of just Old Forester. But, I don't know that it would be beam, but someone could tell me that it's someone could tell he could say it's like a some of those other Barton products, the like whatever the Rutledge stuff, cream of Kentucky or something like that, and I would be like, well, shoot. All right, Eric, I think we've said it. Where are we at on this one?
Well, no, we didn't say that. I put the bottle on here, so I thought it was a well-aged Knob Creek single barrel that was a little off profile because I didn't have I thought it was initially Barton or Old Forester too, but I didn't have a product to match it to. Oh, get out! Let's freaking go! Oh,
did you say 120 proof? Did you say 120?
I did.
Nice.
I did.
So I got nothing there.
I cleaned house. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 plus the bottle, so 6. So now it's Drew's got 7. Brian's got 3.
I've got 3.
Yeah, I just deduced my way to that.
Oh man, it does not taste like did not taste like a Knob Creek to me.
No, like I said, it was off profile. I got banana on the nose. I got banana on the nose right away.
That is off. I didn't even think about Knob Creek because it was not as nutty.
So I was thinking I was thinking about
me.
I picked up the Bardstown bourbon, the Bardstown Discovery behind me, batch 4. And there's debate, is it beam? Is it 1792? Like, and it's like there's so much crossover. And we've talked about this with well-aged Heaven Hill and beam. They just get muddy sometimes. And when they're that old, they just take on more barrel than distillate. And
yeah. All I would have gotten from the other one would have been, if I would have gone with my other guesses, would have been 1 additional point. So that did me no favors.
That was an amazing single barrel. Where was that single barrel from, Eric? Which store? Where'd you get that? My goodness, that was good. All right, number 3.
So now, real quick. What Tim is saying is what I was telling you is so interesting about this. So I was just saying that this had flavors that reminded me of Old Forester Birthday Bourbon and the Brown-Forman's King of Kentucky.
Those are
which are both
single barrel,
which are both impossible to find and incredibly expensive compared to now. They don't do a lot of these older Knob Creek picks anymore, but when they did, they were $50 to $60. Now go back to the first question. The first question, I initially thought, hey, it could be. I thought that it could be. What did I say? I thought it was. At first, I thought it was Old Forester signature, but then it was Elijah Craig Barrel Proof, which is still twice the price of Henry McKenna. So y'all are getting some revelations in terms of like products that you could go out and buy, and from your memory would likely not even know that it wasn't the products that you might wish they were.
All right, whiskey number 3. This is so much fun. I'm just like giddy right now. We have a lower turnout tonight, but yeah, this is so fun. All right, sample number 3. The question for this as we pour: is this a bourbon, rye, wheater, or finished whiskey? Is it over or under 115 proof? We have to guess the age within 1 year, over or under. And what's the distillery? And I'm going to add on there, what's the bottle? I'll try not to take so dang long with this one. But hey, it paid off last time. I was able to triangulate in. Ooh. This takes me back to my craft whiskey tastings. Ouch. Keep catching myself on my headphones here. Only so much I'm going to be able to pick up from the nose, I think, on this one. Eric, focusing on the bottle got me into that perfect score on the last one. So, but yeah, that might be difficult. Bourbon, rye, wheater, or finished whiskey?
Golly.
Just wash your mouth out with high. Come on, man. Yeah, I'm going to go faster on this one, I think.
Makes one of us.
Also really enjoyable. I'm going to say that. Totally different spectrum of flavors. Not the level of quality that the Knob Creek pick was. Well, now I'm second guessing myself now that I get to a certain question. Because I was tracking on a product and now I got to pull up. Like, I think I have a profile. I think it is. It's. And it's going to be hard to, like, pull, like, to. Gosh. I'm running out. It takes so much for me to dial into one of these. Again, the age statement is killing me here too. Like, you got to know what age it is. So the products that I'm thinking of, I don't know the ages of.
Oof.
Yeah. Let me know when you're done and I'll try and speed it up.
You know, this one's wacky. It's wacky.
Yeah. Agreed. You know what? I think I know what it is. I'm good.
Ugh.
I'm going all in here. I think I was around it and I think I found it.
I hate this. I got answers, but I don't like them.
Okay. All right. Is it a bourbon, rye, wheat, or finished whiskey? I think it is a finished bourbon with some rye notes.
I have it as a bourbon.
Straight bourbon?
Just a bourbon.
All right. Over or under 115?
Under.
I'm with you. It's got some heat, but I think it's actually from youth. So I got under 115. Specifically 112.2. There's a reason. I think I know what it is. Age.
3 years.
Yeah, I went 4. I think there's a chance it's 5, but 4 I thought was safe. Distillery. I'm giddy right now, but I might be completely wrong.
I'm torn between two. I am saying Chattanooga.
Oh, I don't get enough malt for it to be Chat, but not a bad guess, actually.
My
Could
other
be
guess
like,
is Michter's, but then it
I would
wouldn't
go
be a
Chattanooga
bourbon.
if it was finished Chattanooga. I went Starlight. I think it's our pick. I think it's our apple brandy finish pick from Starlight.
I think it's got too much. I thought about that, but it feels like it has too much licorice for our Starlight pick.
I don't know. So what did you think it was?
So,
Chattanooga.
I mean, to be honest, I feel
don't-
like I said Chattanooga because the last Michael had given me a blind with a Chattanooga in it, and it had this super weird note.
Yeah.
And this honestly reminds me of like Michter's rye, but I don't think Michter's rye is age stable
Ginger.
because it has this incredibly intense anise licorice note on it, which makes me think rye, but there's no other flavors that make me think rye. And I thought finished whiskey, but I was like, and then I keep going.
Go ahead. I initially thought finished rye. That's what I wrote down initially. But then as I went through my process, I thought it was finished bourbon with a rye, which this bottle, which I looked at it when I thought it was this, I'm like 112.2. That's why I went there.
Impossible.
I knew we were under 115. Oh, you just took a ball. Anyway,
Impossible.
What is it, Eric? I didn't taste it, to be fair. Eric, let us know what it is. Number 3. Oh. You had it. It's probably not this, unless it really mellowed out in that jar, but we just lost Brian. All right. Get out. Oh, my gosh. Yeah, we're just wrong. We're both so wrong. Okay. That is pretty unique. Oh, he's back. Sorry. What happened there? We were just wrong.
Sorry.
On that
So
one.
I keep 2 tabs open. One is the StreamYard, and the other one is the YouTube. So I can refresh the YouTube to get our the information for you and to see if there's any lag. And every once in a while, I refresh the wrong one. I'm sorry, guys. Yeah, we were way
straight rye. Yep. Well, that to be fair,
I should have.
That was
if you look here, you can't see it. Let me try and tighten in. So I said bourbon, but I circled rye because that's where I was leaning, and I went back and forth a little bit on the proof because I thought it was in the teens somewhere, the 1 teens. But golly.
So we didn't get neither one of us got any points on that one.
Here's the deal, Eric. Has this bottle been open for longer than 8 months? If yes, 3 points, Brian.
No, come on. That'd be fine. But I'm not going to give you 3 points for that, Eric. Also, what is it? Is it Nashville Barrel Company, or like who does an 8-year MGP, or is it the Redemption? Is it a Redemption release? Because Redemption had some killer rye releases in that 8-year-old range. 3 weeks. So do you get -3 points? Really, really good. I have had to drink literally all of these samples to try and get into this. After crushing it on that Knob Creek pick, I now feel a little bit like a horse's rump to actually like totally whiff on that. Staves and Grains single barrel? What?
Guys, there's so much licorice on that. There's so much licorice.
Nice whiskey though. As I mentioned, not in the Knob Creek range. I've had better MGP rise, but I enjoyed that. All right. On to the last. I'm still up 7-3.
Definitely not winning. Neither of us are winning World Top Whiskey Taster.
Listen, I'd like to see Matt triangulate on that one. That was hard.
That's funny.
All these have been hard. Like these are great whiskey. All right, so last one we have proof over under within 3 points. Age over under 9 years on this one. Distillery and bottle. Can we guess what kind of whiskey it is again? Or is it going to be apparent? Let's just leave what he...
Now stop adding in all these things for you to get extra points, dude.
I'm trying to make it interesting. I'm giving
According to the official score sheet, you're only up 3.
What are you talking about? Oh, God. Yeah, right. Yeah. The official. All right. Boo Ryan, which is a dank name, just asks, which 10-year redemption do you guys like better, the rye or the bourbon? I had a 10-year high rye a couple years ago, which was nice. But it was, a couple years ago in my bourbon journey, as they say. So I don't remember. I remember enjoying it. I got a little cough medicine on it, though. But the 10-year rye, which I have open now, is fantastic. So I'm going to say the rye. For now, where I sit here. All right, last whiskey. Here we go. I'm quickly reaching palate fatigue. Just because I've had to drink so much of these. Age over under 9. It's such an arbitrary number. The palate on this one is tough too. There are many things I'd like to say, but I don't want to give too many things away. But it's a hard left turn after the whiskeys we've had so far. It's like we were driving on a smooth road, and now we are off-roading in a rough part of town, you might say.
I feel like I have to go all in on specific cards in order to win.
Yeah, you kind of.
I have just done that.
All right. Yeah,
I have just done that. Right? Let's go.
Okay. Hold on, I'm not there yet.
Nation, this one's for you. I will have everyone know that the mango vodka and soda I've been drinking all night is water, while my pineapple that I have not sipped from yet is an actual high noon. So screw you all for thinking I was just drinking high noon between everything. I'm taking this seriously.
So you wrote this down. Well, gosh, because I have thoughts, but this is a conundrum.
Drew, if this is what I think it is, I'm going to circle back with the most painful story for you.
For me?
Yeah.
Okay, man. That's fine. I need to eat like a chip.
I don't know why I feel nervous that I went this fast. I probably shouldn't have.
Yeah, you probably should not have. I need to give myself a second.
But I'm committed to this answer. So
I'm glad you are. I probably feel like I should be, but my palate is so spent. Like, I don't feel like I'm actually tasting well right now. I need to lick something. I need a chip. But I won't, for the integrity of the game. I will not eat anything. I just gotta get a bunch of spit. Think long, go wrong, dude. I nailed the Knob Creek one. So, but yeah, generally, I think you're right. You kind of gotta go with your gut on these, but this one I have no clue, on any of it, honestly. But here we go. Let me give myself another second. A couple more tastes. I think I might know what it is too. So I will also go all in. Because I have a hunch.
I'm regretting this so much.
Okay.
No, I'm not ready. I'm not ready for this.
So I could be completely wrong. There's one way I could go.
I know I'm completely
and
wrong.
Then there's
I'm just
another
going
way
with
I
it.
can go. My palate fatigue is not helping the things that I've tasted. If I tasted what I think this is on its own, it'd be much easier to discern. I don't have that right now, but I'm going off a couple factors. And so I'm going to take a risk to make this interesting. I may park it. I may not. So let's see what we got. Proof over under
120.
120. I'm 140. I'm hazmat. Yep. Age over under 9 years.
Over.
I'm also over. I was under
Son of a
for
gun.
a while. I was under
No
for
matter
a
what.
while. But
I
think
guess no. There's no way to win this at this point.
Anyway, let's just see what it is. I think the product indicated age to me. That's because I didn't, and I think there's a reason he didn't ask what it was. Distillery.
Heaven Hill.
So I think it is MGP. I think it is MGP bottled by Cat's Eye.
Yeah, I think I'm wrong. I just went all in on Parker's Heavy Char.
Yeah, Chasing Giant says Obtainium. That's what I got parked as. 16-year light whiskey. Let's have it. Give it to us. What is it, Eric? And we might just be completely out in left field again.
Mm-hmm.
To be fair.
God, it would drink so low if it's 140 proof.
It's really sweet. Like that's what signaled it to me. I don't feel like I'm
so we both missed proof. We both got age, and that's it. 1 point there. That's it. I'm only 4 points on the night. Like a doofy.
So here's the thing. We did, what did we do? We did mild Heaven Hill. We did crazy intense funky beam. And then we did MGP rye, well aged. And then going to the Four Roses, it tasted awful to me initially coming off that rye. Like it tasted bitter and young. Like that's what I thought of initially. And I'm like, what could taste like
dude?
Right.
Here's the deal with Four Roses. It rarely ever blinds well. No matter what, one thing ever blinds well. What's this?
Well, I think it depends. So real quick, we talk so much about, like tasting multiple times, trying to like decide whether or not you like it. And I think this is a lesson in that. What you've had before influences what you're smelling, what you're tasting on the next one. It just does. And so like to go off an MGP rye after hitting this funky off-profile knob, and then we come up to Four Roses, which is completely different. Like all these whiskeys, there are no more 4 different straight whiskeys than what we just had. Like these are all straight whiskeys.
And not like I can revisit them because I killed them all.
So now I'm gonna come back to this Four Roses. But yeah, I mean it like when I tasted it, like it did not taste like anything good. And so I was like, well, I actually really like this light whiskey, but I was like, what's sweet and hot? That's what I thought of. And I knew Eric had a bottle of this. So
Eric, what's the deal? 12-year, 12-month. What's that? What is that recipe?
Yeah, Eric, dude, you did a great job. That was super fun, and it's really a mind mess up. Wow. It's a mind mess up to taste like this, like to go from thing to thing and blind it and be like, what is that? Because, like I just said. I just explained why it was weird, and that's correct. Funky now. That would be another great t-shirt idea, Tom. So I'm gonna come back to this now.
21, I think, pretty sure it's 21 official points available, and I got 4. So I'm so fire right now.
I got 8. Yeah. I mean, it would have been interesting to do that with others and see.
What's the... Yeah, I want to know what the recipe is on this one. OESK? Okay.
Get out of here. 12-year, 12-month equals 13 years. Nice. That's true. Yeah.
Man.
I don't know. I wish
that.
You love what?
That was fun.
OESK. Oh, that exercise? Yeah, I just wish I
don't like the OESK all that much.
To be fair, when I'm just tasting one whiskey, so my boy Matt Plutz and I will, when we golf, we'll bring a whiskey in a flask, and you gotta, if you get a birdie, you do birdie juice, take a shot from the flask, and then whoever didn't bring it has to call it out. I'm pretty good, like I do pretty well at that.
Oh,
he
says, dude, just shut up and open the envelope. We're sitting here asking all these dumb questions.
Yeah, right.
And the answer's right here.
He brought Old Ezra 101 7-year, and I thought it was Old Ezra barrel strength 7-year. So it's like I have an ability to taste, but when you're tasting after you tasted something else, you're just shot. Like it's just difficult at that point. Nice.
Oh, 20 points total. I must have miscounted. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
Well, I was adding points, remember?
Yep.
Anyway, I would like to point out to the crowd that I won. But yes, Eric, thank you, man. If anybody else wants to send whiskeys to at least let us process through flavor-wise, I can't guarantee that we're gonna, actually be able to tell you what it is. But who knows? We may just nail it. I was 1 for 4, so boom. Brian, you ready to move to the set of whiskeys that I gave to you? That I delivered? All right. Let me know which one you want to start with.
How are we doing this? We're just tasting through them?
Yeah, I mean, they're not blind, so, unless you just want to not look at them and pull one randomly. But then I can't.
No. I can pull them. I just didn't know what you wanted to do. I gotta figure out which glass I'm sipping out of. I don't know how much was actually in the sample bottles. We're gonna get crazy. What is it?
Yes.
I don't remember what's in that glass.
We will probably go grab some chips. I think these are 2-ounce bottles, and they were not quite half full. So we're probably 3 ounces.
Oh, right? Fine.
I had a tiny little bit of rare breed, so I'm probably okay-ish, but I think I need some chips. So I'm going to grab some chips. Y'all get whatever you need. Taste a few more whiskeys. These are fun whiskeys. These are good. Will be good conversation for sure.
I will just grab out of the box.
45 more minutes. Just randomly.
I'll grab out of the box, and then you can grab the coordinating.
Here's what we should do, Brian. Don't look at the label. Just grab out of the box, pour, taste, and we'll see if I can guess what it is based on what you taste.
Sure.
Will that be interesting? Yeah. All right. Let me get some chips.
Go.
I'll be right back.
All right, y'all. Let's get this first sample. I can look at it, right? He just can't. Oh, this is good. This is fitting. This is am I supposed to know what it is? Doesn't matter. Fitting for our upcoming Vic. This is the limousine ride. Let's go. I'm not gonna do all of it though. I'm gonna leave a little bit of it in there. Just a little minuscule taste.
Man, I did 12 minutes on the stair machine earlier, whatever that is.
I'm not going too heavy. I'm just doing little dazzles.
Suggestions, yeah. So whatever artificial, what do you call that? Stairmaster? The thing that sets out stairs and you literally walk upstairs. Did 12 minutes on that. My knees hurt so bad. Gosh.
Hmm.
I didn't think I was that old, but I am. Okay. All right, so you poured a little something. Hit me with your notes here, and we'll see if I can tell what it is. I'm going to mute myself because I'm going to open this bag of chips.
Man, it's got man, that's interesting. It's a little spicy on the nose.
Okay, we got spice. I'm going
Yeah.
to need more than that.
It kind of smells like fresh candied apples.
Okay.
What is that note? Spearmint. The candied apple note's nice, but don't look at the others. Could influence your notes. I don't know what.
Just off the nose, I think I know what it is.
So Tom's saying not to look at anything either. Not to look at the samples, just to pull one and pour it and talk about it. Cool. I'll do that.
Yeah.
Yeah. So it's a little bit.
Or did you look?
I did look at it. I didn't remember what I was supposed to do.
Okay.
It's a little bit like Flintstone vitamins, kind of like it's got some like young or some like granular sugar type sweetness, like Pez or Flintstone vitamins or something. It's got spearmint. It's got
Tell me about the alcohol.
On the palate.
Well, on the nose too, but
palate's pretty juicy, honestly. Palate's juicy. Definitely some spearmint. A little bit of graham cracker. Slightly bready.
I don't remember what all I gave you, but I think that's
like a
the
muffin,
Remus
like
pick
a really like
you.
a. God, no, it's like a blueberry muffin with a little bit more spice. It's like blueberries when you baked them and they're bursting.
It's the Remus pick I gave you, right?
It's
not?
It's prickly though. It's prickly. Yeah.
It's the Remus pick I gave you, right?
It is.
Answer me.
Hold on.
I didn't see. It's like cutting out now. Oh, that's the limousine. Okay, I wasn't even thinking that rye-ish. Okay. Never mind. But yeah. Limousine. Sorry, not limousine. Okay.
Limousine.
This is a dumb game.
Yeah, I was gonna say I like how you're just eating chips and I'm just gonna get
Christmas
blitz and I'm gonna need chips. It's good. All right, next one.
Yeah. I'm curious to see what we can pull out of a single barrel. Some with a little more oak. Round that sucker out a little bit. Should be rad. Yep.
All right. Whatever this next pour is.
All right. So now you don't know what this is? Okay.
No. Wow.
Man, you're smells like cut out now.
It smells like pencil shavings.
Oh, I know what it is.
That's all it smells like, dude. It's all it smells like is pencil shavings.
Interesting.
Not a fan. Let's go on the palate.
Pencil shavings. I think I know what it is.
It's got like a golden raisin note.
Talk to me about
walnut. Golden raisin, walnut.
How much oak are we talking? Decent age? No age?
Super thin, dude.
Oh, thin.
Super thin, slightly medicinal.
Thin and pencil shavings. What? I don't even remember what all I gave you. So I gave you a Russell light on pick, which I like.
Light on the palate. Grainy
about
pencil
heat?
shaving nose. Huh?
What about heat?
Dude, there's not a lot on the palate.
You're just getting a thin whiskey? I didn't send you a thin whiskey.
Kind of thin with like a little bit of sweetness in the finish.
You're dead to me.
Slightly medicinal, slightly grainy. I'm not even gonna finish this, dude. I'm not gonna. I apologize. I'm not gonna finish it. Not with as much whiskey as we've had.
Yeah, I don't even trust you at this point. But if I had to guess, I'm gonna
Why?
go back. Because of the amount of whiskey you've had. If I had to go back, I'd probably go back to the Remus because I can't imagine some of the other stuff I sent you that you'd peg some of those whiskeys with the terrible review you just gave that whiskey. But I love that Remus. What is it? I can't see.
Still Austin.
Oh, I forgot I gave you that. Yeah, that holds.
It tastes
up.
like
Standard still Austin.
It tastes like cinnamon, pencil shavings, and like grain.
I forgot how many samples I gave you, so that wasn't even on my.
There's like 10 in this box. Please don't make me drink all of them.
Well, we don't want to hold. Yeah, we don't want to have all these people, watching us just talk about nothing. So we either should hang it up, or we should come up with something good to do. Since you don't want to taste 10 whiskeys after tasting.
I mean, I totally can. I just will
4 samples.
Will be blitzed.
You'll wretch. Yeah, I don't want to. I'm not a fan. I'm not a fan of like drinking to be blitzed.
I'm just saying. All I'm saying is I'm really mad I missed the Knob Creek one. That's all I'm saying. I'm just. Yeah,
I wish I had more of that Knob Creek.
All I know though is if I would have gone the other direction though with that, I still wouldn't have won. So, is what it is.
Well, let's throw some stuff out there, Brian. As you look forward to the fall, let's get to allocated releases. What are you most hoping to grab this year? Heavy Char, wheat whiskey, the Four Roses, which has yet to be announced, birthday bourbon, which has
which I'm surprised about too. Every year, the one thing I look forward to is Four Roses. I am a Four Roses nut, and I'm always curious what that's going to bring. Now, that said, the 19 Four Roses LE is one of my favorite pours. It also doesn't blind very well. There are a lot of pours I would probably put above the 19 Four Roses. I find that a slightly interesting phenomenon. Like, there are the LEs a lot of times have more complexity than the single barrels. Yet you could think that the single barrel is exceptional. So you think that you have an exceptional single barrel that is shown up by an LE, and then you have an LE that is shown up by a myriad of other pours. And I just find that intriguing. If you were like to be chasing for something that is the best. So I'm looking forward to that. I don't know if I'm looking forward to the Parkers or not, because I haven't had weed expressions. There's not been a lot of weed expressions, and I've had mixed expressions, mixed reactions to the Old Forester expressions. I'm sorry, not Old Forester, Old Fitzgerald. Old Fitzgerald.
Oh, yeah. Well, to be clear, this isn't even a wheated bourbon. This is a wheat whiskey. So it's Bernheim. It's the Bernheim wheat whiskey, but aged longer and heavy char barrel.
So the only thing the other Parkers is the only other thing aside from Bernheim that has come out in that, right? And I never tried that one, but people said that the wheat Parkers was exceptional. It's one of some people's favorite of the Parker line. So I am looking forward to that because I did very much like the heavy char bourbon, and I enjoy the heavy char rye. I just don't, I don't know what to expect from it. Now, I'm not an enormous Weeder fan, so I don't really care about Weller. products or William LaRue Weller for specifics. However, I did like the 2020, so I wanted to make sure to get one of those. But
Nice.
the Stag is my wheelhouse. I like old age whiskeys with lots of oak, caramel, brown sugar, all of that. So Four Roses and George T. Stagg are the two that I always hope I could possibly come into during release season. I do not care about Van Winkle products. I do not care about the other things in the BTAC lineup. I don't particularly care about the E.H. Taylor products. It's just Stagg and Four Roses for me.
Okay.
How about you?
Well, I'm with you on the Four Roses. Would love that. I popped the 2020. Love the 2020. Really nice. Had the 2019 with you. Really nice. Had the 2018. Really nice. So consistently very good. Stagg is obviously awesome. William LaRue Weller, though, also awesome. And honestly, in Milwaukee, beggars can't be choosers. If I get something from Buffalo Trace or the Parkers or the Birthday Bourbon or the Four Roses, I'd be happy. Like last year, I only pulled the Four Roses out of all those. I didn't get any others, and it was fine. The Wild Turkey one, I'm not really interested in the Wild Turkey one. That said, I'd probably still buy it because it probably doesn't suck, but we'll see. If I read reviews and they're like, it's not very good, then I'll probably not buy it. Real quick, and then feel free to chime in. Jug says he's got the Still Austin cask strength. That's what I just poured a little bit of here. More than pencil shavings. Really nice. I opened it and talked about it on one of my, I think it was the Evan Williams Bourbon Tour video. It actually, I'm liking it better now, having had a few. But I liked it then. It's really solid. The Still Austin cask is nice, so I think you'll enjoy it. All right, what were you going to say, Brian?
Nope. I just remember I think it was a sample. Someone gave me a sample of the William LaRue Weller last year, and I poured it. And
Kristen tasted it.
Kristen was particularly fond of it, and so I had to get a bottle of it for that because I wanted to make sure I had a bottle so that she had something really nice.
Husband move. That's a rad husband move. But Kyle brought it, and we had it at the Starlight Pick, after the Starlight Pick with Kyle. It was awesome. That was the only time I've tasted WLW, was with Kyle.
I don't think I had it. It wasn't on that table, was it?
Yeah. I mean, but we had a Russell's Pick. What else did we have?
I don't know that I poured any of it then.
Bardstown Discovery Batch 3. What else do we have on that table? And we had already had plenty at that point. That was kind of a long day.
Yeah.
Oh, man. Yeah, at that point, I wasn't drinking because I wanted to drink more. I was drinking because there was stuff on that table that I wanted to taste that I wouldn't otherwise be able to. M. Evans, good question. Secondary on Stagg Jr., too much. 150 plus right now, which is redonk.
Yep.
Is it worth 150? No, man. Not in my book. I enjoy it. I'd pay, I think I said in my video, what should you buy from Buffalo Trace? I said 100. I'm still in at 100, 120. I'm painfully probably passing. So, no, I'm out, man, at 150. Don't buy secondary, people. This is my opinion. Trades sometimes, if you got a bottle somebody else wants. Big fan of the trade game. I work the trade game sometimes, but rarely are these things worth the secondary value. Almost never. So just buy good whiskey off the shelf, drink it, enjoy it, and call it good. Eric, dude, thanks for the super chat. You're a hero. Can't wait to celebrate your birthday with you next week. Both of us on the golf course and with some whiskey and high noon, obviously. It's going to be sick. Peter, I wasn't encouraging secondary. I just told people not to do it. Not a fan of it. I think it's actually damaging to the industry. I don't think it started. Let me be clear. I did a whole video on the secondary market. You guys should check it out. I don't think it started as damaging to the industry, but I think it quickly got that way when the pricing started getting exorbitant. And it became more of a money grab for folks. It became less of an avenue for like swapping whiskey, which is awesome. Like for like, hey, you want this? I got it. You don't have it, but you got something I want. Let's work it out. That's what it started as. And then it became, I'm going to buy all the Blantons I see, and then I'm going to sell it for more than I paid for it. And people make a living ish doing that. People, that's what they do. They buy whiskey and then they sell it illegally. And I'm not a fan. So secondary market, I wish was legal. I wish was moderated, because then I think it could be great for the hobby and the industry. But the way it's evolved, I'm not a fan. But you can go watch my video if you want. Jug. I paid $99 at a smaller store for Stag Junior. Was pretty happy. Yeah, like I said, I'd buy that. I'd be like, it's a bit much, but it's a really good whiskey. I've got batch 14 open, which people are like meh on batch 14. I think it's pretty solid, so I'm in it.
I think I had that the other night. I could be wrong, but I thought I did.
Brian, you got anything else, man? I don't want to drag this out. I'm kind of spent, honestly. So
I'm good, man. I'm honestly just ready to sip on my pineapple sunsips.
Sick. I will finish my little pour of Still Austin. My wife is upstairs watching Downton Abbey. That's kind of her thing. When she's watched it before, but we have a 5-month-old, and when I do the live streams, she and the baby watch Downton Abbey. So we joke that that's the baby's show.
Yeah, we are on our third time through the series Outlander, which is not Downton Abbey, but it's kind of like a Scottish version of Downton Abbey. That is takes a very long time to get through. And again, I'll repeat, we are on our third time through it. Jeepers. I haven't watched Lost or Office this much time, this many times. Kristen likes it. That's all that matters, right? So
yeah, I mean, Alicia and I try and find shows we both want to watch when we watch TV together. So I don't watch golf really with her. I watch golf when she doesn't want to watch golf or watch TV. But together we watch Community, Parks and Rec, The Office, Parenthood. We have enough shows to watch together that we can kind of cycle through them. Right. Outlander, though, interesting. I'll have to check it out. Kyle says Outlander is a very sexy Downton Abbey.
Yeah, there's definitely some moments.
Got it. Cool. Good. Fantastic. All right, squad. Well, thanks for tuning in. We won't carry you guys any longer. Daniel asks, hello from Germany. What's up, dude? Thanks for tuning in. Go back and watch the rest of the video where we had tasted through this blind and I won. Just I'll point that out one more time and we'll be good. Until the next time when Brian will probably win the next one. So if you guys want to contribute to the channel in any way, a few ways you can do that. One is you could create a blind sample set for us, send it to both of us, and we could do this again because it was super fun. Other ways, you can click the links below and you can grab Entry Proof Podcast whiskey glasses like these that say Entry Proof Podcast on them. Get a t-shirt, or you can go to patreon.com/Entry Proof Podcast. You can support the channel on the regular that way. That's also the way you get access to our barrel picks. We have Middle West Spirits 4-grain bourbon, which was so good, coming out probably in the next month. Tastes like E.H. Taylor single barrel, honestly. Not like super barrel proof, but it's like between E.H. Taylor single barrel and the barrel proof. Really, really good. Really enjoyed that. And then we're doing a pick next week, not this week, but the next week on Saturday with Eric Sawyer. We're doing it with Matt Pletz. We're going to Dancing Goat Distillery and picking something, maybe a limousine rye. We'll see. And then roughly a month-ish later, we'll go to Driftless Glen and pick either a bourbon or rye. We'll decide that day. We'll see.
Let's go.
Yeah. So that's it. That's all I have. But thank you guys for tuning in. Hopefully you enjoyed it. It was definitely inside baseball today as we tasted through these whiskeys. But fun is all get out. So catch y'all next week. You can and should subscribe to both our channels. Brian's channel at AbandonBourbon. You want in-depth reviews that tell you, hey, should you get this whiskey, and pull out like an infinite number of tasting notes that actually apply. That's where you should check out Brian. If you want a blend of history, education, and nonsense, that's where you should follow the Drippy Whiskey channel. I think that's probably an accurate description.
And if you want hiding sunsets, that's where you subscribe to the Entry Booth podcast.
Always. All right, y'all. That's it. Stay healthy, stay safe, and keep it neat.
Cheers, guys.